Hello, everyone. Wonderful to have you with me. Yin Yoga. Our theme for our class is Yin Yoga to help us feel happy. And I'm sure that you feel happy throughout the day, but Yin or yoga is going to help you create a little bit more happiness for yourself. So let's back up to our mat here and start our class off in toe pose. Sitting on your toes, and hopefully this is comfortable for your knees. If it's not comfortable for your knees, you can sit in easy pose, so with legs crossed in front of yourself, or you can sit on a chair. You're just finding what's going to work for yourself. I'll just go back a little bit here so you can see. For toe pose, we widen out the toes. It's a really nice stretch for them. We stretch into our ankles. Let's turn our palms up towards the sky. We're turning our palms up towards the sky. We close our eyes and notice the opening coming through the front of our shoulders. As we hold toe pose, breathing in and out through the nose, the Ujjayi breath. The Ujjayi breath is a strong breath, but with Yin, it's a softer breath that we do practice. With the inhale breath, we open up through our center, our core. With the exhale breath, let go. We may think of a mantra that we would like to say with our breath. With breathing in, you may say that I am aware. This could be aware of how you're feeling, aware of your physical body. With your exhale breath, you may say, I am letting go of feelings that don't serve me. I'm letting go of things that don't serve me. You may feel your arches start to open up with toe squat. We sink a little bit deeper into toe squat, so letting your hips feel a little bit heavier onto your heels. Coming out of toe squat, bringing your arms gently forward, uncurling right toes, left toes, and we sit back into the heels here. Take your hands behind, your fingers behind, and draw your chest open up towards the sky. And I'm hoping this, again, works for your knees. If it doesn't, you can come back into easy pose and cross your legs the opposite way. This is an ankle stretch. Chest opener. Shoulder opener. Continue to breathe. Inhaling, I am aware. Exhaling, I let go of everything that does not serve me. Slowly making your way out of the ankle stretch and making your way into tadpole, which will be turning our knees out to each side of our mat. We sit back into the heels and fold forward and let the forehead rest on the ground. If again, this does not work for your knees, you can lie on your back and draw your knees in towards the chest or lie on the side of the body. Feel your hips open in tadpole, elongating through the spine. Continuing to repeat our mantra. Again, our focus, our theme is happiness, lifting our mood. I am aware with the inhale breath, the exhale breath, I let go of everything that does not serve me. "45 more seconds, we hold. Slowly coming out of tadpole, and we make our way to all fours. Tuck your knees back in, come back to your toes, and just wiggle through the tailbone here, so wag your tail. And then step forward with right hand, left hand into downward facing dog. Alternate knee bends. And bend through the knees, lift your hands and walk your feet to the top of your mat. Coming into our next pose, dangling. We let our head hang. Now dangling, let your body hang. Thinking of your breath with the inhale breath coming out the backs of your legs. Your exhale breath going down your back to your head in the circle. Inhale, breathing up the back of your legs. Exhale, coming down your back to your head. Continue to breathe that way. Feel this stretch into your hamstrings. I know you feel that already. Into your pelvis. Back. Out of dangling. We'll step back with the right foot, left foot, and make your way to all fours. And then coming down to the front of our body, prone, uncurling our toes. We turn our right cheek towards the mat, arms by the side of our body, and we lie in Shavasana, prone, and we breathe. Slowly turning your head so that your left cheek rests on your mat. And breathe. Our last three poses were compressions into the front of our body, helping to massage our organs, helping them to work. Work efficiently. Coming out of Shavasana, we turn our head And we take our arms, hands forward, and sit back into child's pose for a moment. And then we make our way back to all fours. Our next pose is a squat, Balasana. If it doesn't work for you for the squat, you can use something to sit on here. And I'll just show you that version first so that you're in front of whatever it is that you're sitting on. It could be a stool. A stool will work really well. I have my bolster here and I'm turning my toes out like I did before. So I'll show you it this way so you can see. I turn my toes out. I take my elbows into the inner thigh and I sit like this. So that works really, really good. A higher, like it could be a chair too, that you're turning your knees out, turning your toes out, or you can come into Balasana with me. I should move out of the camera, but we sit down, we turn our toes out, turn your knees out, taking your elbows into the inner part of your knees. And we sit in our squat, drawing our tailbone down towards the ground. Close our eyes and breathe. Notice if your weight is placed evenly between one side and the other, or do you find that you're tipping over to one side? Coming back to our mantra, I am aware. Inhale breath. I let go of everything that does not serve me with the exhale breath. Making our way out of Malasana. We take our hands forward. We come back up. And we can take a step back, right foot, left foot, into all fours, and then back into child's pose. We'll just scooch back so you can see me a little bit more. And uncurl the toes, back into child's pose. And then making our way back up to swan. And it will be sleeping swan. I'll show you an option for sleeping swan too. Step forward with the right hand and then step forward with the left hand into downward facing dog. Draw the right leg up to three-legged dog and then bend through the knee. Take your knee forward and turn it out to the right wrist. Here, I'm going to place a pillow underneath my right knee. So just get your pillow, or you can use a block too. If you need to come out of the pose, just come back into it. So I have a block handy, but I will use a pillow. So it'll just be a little bit softer too. Sleeping swan. Come down towards the ground. Let your forehead rest. So it could rest onto your hands. You could rest onto your mat, deciding for yourself what you would like to do. You may uncurl the toes if your hips are square. I will show you the option. It would be lying on your back Coming into figure four. We cross the right ankle over top of the left knee, and then wrap your hands around the left leg. Leave your foot down on the ground too. This is a wonderful opening into our hip, right side of our hip. We breathe into those areas of tightness. We exhale to let go. Widening our back, expanding our back with the inhale breath. Letting your body soften with the exhale breath. Let's make our way out of sleeping swan. Coming back to downward facing dog. And then to all fours. And if you don't have a pillow on the other side, just use the same pillow and switch the sides. And then we can go back into downward facing dog. So step forward, right hand, left hand into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up towards the sky, bend through the knee, turn your knee out to the left wrist. Place your pillow underneath of the left hip. If you are on your back into figure four, you're working through the other side, crossing your left ankle over the right knee. If you like to join me in sleeping swan, please fold forward. Our forehead rests, pressing our hands for the mat. Now, how is this nice big opening the left side of your hip? Are we breathing into those areas of tightness? And is the exhale breath helping you to let go? Sometimes you have to tell yourself that too. Let go, let go, let go. So it's a really nice mantra for ourselves. And it works. That's the important part too. Slowly making our way back out. Little sleeping swan. We come back into downward facing dog. Then to all fours. Back into child's pose. And then into our next pose, which will be dragon. So I'm just going to remove my pillow here so you can see me. So back to all fours again. Step forward the right hand, left hand into downward facing dog at first. Three-legged dog. Take your right leg up and then bend through the knee and step onto the outside of the right wrist. Left knee maybe up or come down towards the ground. We may hold here and we let our head hang. You may come down to the forearms. This will open up through our hip just a little bit more when we come down lower. If this does not work for your knee, you can use a knee block too, or double up your mat. Actually, this would be 3 mats. Something that is going to help your knees, so it's a little bit more cushion. We let our head go, let it hang. You may readjust at any time. You may sink your pelvis down a little bit more in towards the ground and then come back into stillness. Checking in to see how your inner thighs are doing. The front of your left thigh and the outside of your right hip. One more cycle of breath, inhale and exhale for yourself. We let go with the exhale breath a little bit more. And then we can make our way out of dragon back into downward facing dog. To the other side, take your left leg up towards the sky, bend through the knee and step onto the outside of the left wrist. Your knee may be up, so leg straight. Or you can take your knee down. And again, it's nice to double up or triple up your mat. Check in to see how your outer thigh is. You can come down to the forearms. You can take your knee back a little bit more and then sink your pelvis down here And then come down into the forearms. And then you're getting a little bit more stretch into the front of the right thigh, so into the hip flexors, into the inner thigh of the left side, and outer thigh of the left side. We let our head hang here, and we let go. Remember, you can readjust and then come back into stillness. Are you able to let go of the shoulders a little bit more? Now slowly coming back, making your way to downward facing dog. Make your way to all fours right away. I know what's gonna work for you. And then to all fours. And we roll over to the side of our body. Now we make our way down towards the ground for supine twist. Our knees are bent at first, and we take our knees in towards the chest for cradle. Just let your back settle into the ground. Front of our body opens. Coming into a twist, we take our legs up and over to the left side. We take our arms in line with our shoulders. You can have your elbows bent, our arms straight. You can also place your left hand onto the outside of the right knee. Turn your head opposite way of your legs. With your eyes closed, you breathe. Breathing into the side of our body, breathing into those areas of tightness, tension. Exhale, letting go. Turning our head back towards the center and taking our legs back to the center. Knees into the chest and we hold. You now take your legs up and over to the right side. Arms coming in line with the shoulders. Just like before, you may have your arms straight or there's a bend in your elbows. You can place your right hand onto the outside of the left knee. Turn your head the opposite way of the legs. Our eyes close and breathe into the side of our body. Exhale breath, letting go. This is a big opening into the front of our shoulder, our chest here to the side. So see if it does work for you. If it doesn't, you can tuck your arm in towards your chest. Any kind of pain into any areas, always, of course, you're adjusting so you don't have pain. Sometimes we have injuries created from our jobs. It could be a rotator cuff injury. Lots of time spent on the computer. Coming out of our twist, bring your head back towards the center. Bring your legs back towards the center. Back into cradle. Take your knees to the chest. Widen out through your pelvis. Widen out through your spine. Yourself feel the expansion. Making your way into stirrup pose. Happy baby. Turning your knees out to your armpits. You can hold onto your knees. You can hold underneath your knees into your knee pits. Ankles, outside edges of your feet or your big toes. You can let the legs just dangle here or have them up. Having them up, you're opening up through your inner thighs and through your pelvis a little bit more. We hold for another minute. From happy baby, we'll make our way to legs up the wall. So we release and bring your legs up so they're straight. You can place your legs against a wall. It's always good to do. So I'm going to do that. So if you have a wall close by, you can use it, but of course you don't have to. So to get into the wall, we want to have our body, we're gonna lie right by the wall on the side of our body, and then we turn. So our legs will go up. And so our bottom's really close. And then our heels are up the wall. Turn your palms up. You can open up your legs into a V too. That's always good. Making our way out of legs up the wall. We bend through the knees. We turn over to the side of our body. And then come back to our mat. And our next pose before Shavasana will be supported bridge. So having a block handy, you can use a pillow too. And we'll place our block or pillow underneath of our sacrum. It's not the tallest height, it's the medium height that I'm going to use. Always looking up towards the sky when we come into bridge. Just down a little bit more. And then we place our block underneath of our sacrum. Just where it's comfortable for yourself, or use a pillow too. Or you might have to use 2 pillows. Palms down beside the body. Close your eyes. Let your pelvis feel supported. So that you can let it go. Out up bridge. I felt like this pose was really so comfortable. Just like, oh, we better come out of bridge. We've been here for a little while. So we need to make our way to Shavasana. Okay, so Shavasana. This is a good time to put on something warm. So socks, a blanket, a jacket, whatever is, around you handy that you would want to use. Usually we have a blanket at home that we can use and just cover up our body. So for Shavasana, you can have your knees bent, you can have your legs straight. Remove any props or anything in your way that your body is touching so your energy is not blocked. If you're lying on your back, you can turn your palms up towards the sky. You can also do legs up the wall again. You can also sit. Finding what is comfortable for you for a sitting position. And then when you have found stillness, close your eyes. Feel your body soften. With the exhale breath, let go. Feel your eye sockets get heavy. Our lips part. Your face softens. Our shoulders relax. Our upper body softens. Our lower body softens. Letting go of everything that does not serve you out through your fingers, out through your toes. I will call you back when it is time. Slowly coming back. Noticing sounds around you. Noticing the surface that you're lying on. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. You can do a shift. We can do a sigh. Have a deeper breath. Now, if you're lying on your back, bending through the knees, taking your right arm overhead and rolling over to the right side of your body. In fetal, take a moment and then make your way up to a comfortable seated position. You can have your hips higher than your knees, just like me. Or you can sit to whatever position you like that's comfortable. Taking your hands to your heart center. Thank you everyone for joining me and sharing your practice. I hope this practice has helped you to lift your mood, find happiness. Namaste.